The USS Ranger was commissioned in August 1957 at the Norfolk Naval Shipyard, and she joined the U.S. Atlantic Fleet that October. She conducted her initial shakedown, air operations, individual ship exercises, and final acceptance trials along the eastern seaboard and in the Caribbean Sea until June of 1958. She then departed Norfolk, Virginia, sailed around the southern tip of South America, and arrived at her new home port, Naval Air Station Alameda in Alameda, California. It was there in August of 1958 that she joined the U.S. Pacific Fleet. The USS Ranger served extensively in the Pacific, especially during the Vietnam War in the 1960s and 70s. She earned a total 13 battle stars for her operations in that conflict, mainly out of Subic Bay and the Gulf of Tonkin. USS Ranger continued to serve through the 80s and into the early 90s in the Indian Ocean and the Persian Gulf. During Operation Desert Storm, which began in January of 1991, the Navy launched 228 sorties from the decks of the USS Ranger and other carriers, including the USS Midway and the USS Theodore Roosevelt. Ranger was decommissioned on July 10, 1993, after 36 years of service, and had been docked at the Naval Inactive Ship Maintenance Facility in Bremerton, Washington. There were 2 attempts to save the USS Ranger and preserve her for future generations. In 2010, the not-for-profit USS Ranger Foundation submitted an application to Naval Sea Systems Command, proposing the donation of Ranger for use as a museum ship and multi-purpose facility to be located on the Columbia River at Chinook Landing Marine Park in Fairview, Oregon. However, in September of 2012, NAVSEA rejected the Foundation's proposal and redesignated the ship for scrapping. Then, in August 2014, a new attempt began to convince the Navy not to scrap the ship. A petition on change.org attracted more than 2,500 signatures. The hope was that Ranger would be located in Long Beach Harbor as a museum, but NAVSEA stated that the Ranger was no longer available for donation and was slated to be scrapped.